Let's go. God, you know what I mean? Like it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I get it. But that's not it. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to get better. That's all we can do. That's all I can do today. What can I do today? I can be a little bit better than I was yesterday. Just a little bit. That's all that matters. Let's go. So, Tuesday, December the 8th. 8 days. We've been on this financial journey already 8 days. We've set goals. We've learned how money works. Today, we are going to begin to implement how we are going to structure our money. What does that process begin with? Leading in tomorrow is going to be our cash management system. You're not going to want to miss tomorrow. And I might even Thursday go late night. We might go late night on Thursday. We'll test it out. We'll see. We're bouncing around. We got some peoples. We got to manage schedules. Do the song. Do the dance. How you doing, sir? John Kim. I got to be honest. If I'm on here, I got to be honest. Started the day with a loss. Started the day with a no. What did I say yesterday? We welcome failure. Welcome it. So, wrap it up, take it, swallow it. What can I learn? Immediately. Then it snuck back in. That was a bummer. That was a loss. But then you continue to remind yourself. How do we do that? That is what we're going to learn about today. I play running back and fullback. I'm 210, 5'10", 210. Junior in high school. You're a big dude for a junior in high school. You look at the next level. Let's see, King of the 772. You look at that next level. What does a prototypical fullback look like at the college level? I remember I got to play with a guy named Dan Kreider in Arizona. He was a longtime Steeler. He was about 5'10", 230, 235, but as an NFL fullback. If you could be 5'10", 225, you can go play some fullback in college football. I got no problem with that, man. And I've said it many times on here, fullback is a position of will, not skill. Are you willing to do it? I look at my artists out, wide receivers, cornerbacks. They got to be able to do things. They got to be able to do things I can't do. That's skill. But all of them are not willing to do what I went and could do. Advice for a quarterback from a very small school. Running a 4.7, you're getting there. You're getting there. And as a running back, you're learning to carry the ball, which is a great feat. So, advice for a quarterback from a very small school on how to get seen. You got to begin. Mike Merck, welcome in, brother. Appreciate you. Mike made a post about us the other day. Football and finance, that's what we're here to do. Appreciate it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah, whatever you are enjoying and supporting. Bench 295. Put those 2.5s on the side. King of the 772. 2.5s on each side. Get you to that 300. Come on. We'll learn about that mindset right there. That's going to be something that's going to come up here in a few days as we take one of the best principles I took from the locker rooms. That's a flash forward. But advice for a young quarterback, yes, sir. Advice for a young quarterback trying to be seen. Master the offense. If you are still trying to play, already begin to approach it from a coach's perspective. I always thought the best quarterbacks were the ones who addressed the game like a coach, studied the game like a coach, didn't just take orders, try to understand why we were operating, what we were doing, begin to see the game on a bigger picture, bigger level. That will open up other opportunities or open up doors. But my best advice for young quarterbacks, how you get seen is show up everywhere. You got to go all to the camps. You got to, this summer, I bet they're going to be back open. but just start to be a master of the game. Quarterback gives you a different perspective than anyone else on the field. You are playing chess on a daily process, daily business. So begin to see the game as a chess table. We're going to talk about chess and checkers here. Has anybody seen The Queen's Gambit? Is that in there? Netflix? Drop in the comments. Have you seen The Queen's Gambit? I want to know because I just got done watching it. I grew up playing chess, and you don't get very many chess-related video or shows. How did you get noticed as a fullback for colleges, and what college did you go to? Good questions, King and Brody K25. Brody K25. Cooter, welcome in. Jim Bob Cooter was my offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. So welcome in, Cooter. I went to Washington State University. See a little logo right there. Got to be a proud supporter. I'm also an adjunct professor there today. How did I get seen? So, King of 772 is asking, I go to a small school. How do you get seen? It's not easy. Brody K, appreciate you. Nice. What school you support or what school you trying to go to? It's not easy. I was extremely fortunate. Why? Because I went to a very good high school. I went to Mission Viejo High School. Go Cougs. Mr. Coach Q. Class of 2019. Just fresh out. Love it. Gotta live it. Go Cougs. Fight. We had a rough weekend, but we'll bounce back. We'll be all right. What subject do you teach? I teach personal finance. What? Yeah, I teach personal finance. What we're going to talk about today. So why I got a scholarship is because Mission Viejo, we were ranked top 10 in the country. At one point, we were number 2, right behind De La Salle, back when they were winning every game known to man. So why I got to continue on, even running a 5 flat 40, make fun of me later. I ran a 5 flat 40, but I got noticed because, one, I was obviously pretty good holding down. John Kim, Mark Sanchez. Yep, there's our pride and joy, Mission Viejo. He was a year younger than me. I actually, some would say he followed me from Santa Margarita to Mission Viejo, but I technically followed Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's younger brother. So it's all in the mix. We had a good run. We went my high school career. I went 41-1, going 41-0, losing my last game. I'm going to try to play running back and get offers, and if that doesn't work, I'll play fullback. That's how most people end up at fullback. That's how I ended up at fullback. Look around the field and realize, did you ever play against Troy Polamalu? I did not play against Troy Polamalu, sadly, when he was with the Steelers. I'm trying to think back. I don't think I ever played against Troy. I went to North Shore in Houston, Texas. The official. North Shore is good school. Who was it out there that was always ranked in like the top 5? Steelers are my favorite team. Steelers, they got beat yesterday. It happens, but they're looking good. See how deep they can go. Have you ever heard of Anthony Booby Dixon? Is that Booby Dixon from like Friday Night Lights, Booby? If that is, then yeah, I know Booby. No, that's Booby Miles. Get Booby the ball. All right. So we're going to get into the subject of the day. Today is the last psychological aspect of money we are going to cover. Today we are going to discuss how we will repeatedly find success with our money. That is, so many people say, let's talk about investments. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. No, 49ers and Bills running back. Anthony Booby Dixon. I got to look at it. Back then, 2015. Today we look at this last topic, and we are going to have our money scripts set. We are going to have our money mindsets, and we are going to begin to develop what we are going to discuss today, which is our money habits. Margaret Thatcher, another Netflix out there. Watch King's Gambit. Another one's talking about The Crown. You don't need to watch that one. It's not as good. Finance question. Thank you, Nicholas. Most say get rid of debt before investing. Does student debt count, or is that good debt? Well, I like putting it in good debt because it's really acceptable debt. It's not really good. I mean, I guess you are using it, putting it in an investment, but what I would measure as you look at this, I am now looking at student loans versus starting to invest. First criteria is, what is that interest rate on your student loans? Second criteria is, what is the opportunity cost? Learned about opportunity cost yesterday. So I look at student debt equals good debt tax deduction. John Kim taking notes each and every day, learning each and every day. I appreciate you, John Kim. So as you look at your student loans, if it is above that 5%, go ahead and target those and pay those off. But if you do have a manageable interest rate, if you look at it and say, I can afford to pay the 100, 200, whatever a month to pay off my student loans, I want to begin to make money go to work for me. My opportunity cost is pay down debt or employ my dollars. I personally, depending on that interest rate, now if it is outlandish, 8, 9, 10%, pay off your student loans, you're not going to beat that consistently. But if it is a lower interest rate, I personally would begin to say, I'm cool cash flowing my student loan. I want to make money go to work for me. Why? Because, and let me see who, Nicholas, because Nicholas, a few days ago, we covered this concept, not opportunity cost. That's the opportunity of what you did not choose, but of compound interest in the time value of money. We actually went through the formula. And if we knew anything, and some of your friends on here will be able to tell you, the massive impactor of the time value of money formula is time. No shock there. So if you are able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of your dollars already beginning to compound for you, I would put that above paying somebody else compound interest in student loans. So that is a tough decision. It is very personal. If you can manage it, if you understand money, if you are building your strategy tomorrow in our cash management system, and if you are trying to be efficient with it, that is something, that is a decision I think you can go and make and you should begin to use. So as you look at that, yes, I think if you are comfortable paying down your student loans and at the same time beginning to invest, I would prioritize my future self over paying down debts. And you can always find more dollars elsewhere. You can always look around and say, hey, this month I'm not going to do X, Y, or Z. That goes into my future. So, quote of the day by Margaret Thatcher. Watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words. Ooh, breaking news. ESPN, Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Ohio State. Watch Ohio State get, this is the beautiful breakdown. Thank you, Nicholas. That's what we're here to do, brother. Keep the questions coming. How much was your contract for, Brody? I made a video about that, breaking it down. Go ahead and check that old video. So I broke that down. The Michigan announced the Michigan-Ohio State. Great quote. Here we go. Michigan-Ohio State game is going to be canceled. I think that's going to end up screwing Ohio State out of the playoffs, which technically is a win for Michigan, which is a weird way to look at it. Watch your thoughts because they become your words. Watch your words as they become your actions. Watch your actions as they become your habits. Watch your habits as they become your destiny. What we think we become. That was Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister of England. How much was your contract? Great quote. Derek Peasy, respect. I love quotes, man. Quotes. I love having quotes just kind of bounce around my mind throughout a day. Who's your favorite fullback? Right meow. We'll come back to that. Let me come back to favorite fullback. I liked watching the Browns play the other day. That young man's playing some good fullback. So as you hear that quote, you begin to understand how I was introduced to the concept of habits was going to work with a guy named Drew Brees. A couple of you just perked up. Wait a minute. Go ahead, send the feed, live feed. Go ahead, send it to a friend and say, hey, dude's about to tell us a story about Drew Brees. Come on. We'll get to that here in a second. So we began to understand historically our habits were defined out of a main resource of survival. you look at, you're my favorite TikTok. Respect, appreciate you. Kyle Juice, Niners. If money talks, Niners fullback, definitely the best. So we understood that habits are going to form out of survival. They are going to try to conserve energy and be more safety prone. So how I look at that is, as back historically, people were picking berries. You created a habit to make berry picking smoother, easier, faster. If you saw a bear, you ran your ass off because that bear was going to eat you. Efficiency, conserve energy, survival, run from the freaking bear. That is what habits historically were formulated by and what they created and did. Today, we are beginning to create habits to build efficiencies. We are beginning to create habits to see success and to be able to continually repeat and earn and gain success. And what we did was, as I went to work for the Saints for 4 years, I watched number 9. How does number 9 operate? This dude's life was a process. His life was a system. His life and his intentions were habits. That is how you become a Hall of Famer. That is how you repeatedly find success. And that is really how you see what you want to do and continue to find it. So what he did and his routines, and we're going to talk about this. I'll break down a Wednesday in the NFL here in a second. But what his process was he would be the first one in the building. That was part of his mindset. He said, I love getting to work before the sun gets up, makes me feel productive. So as he would go in, he would be in the hot tub. Then he'd go get stretched. Then he would go get his workout. Then he'd go in the cold tub and he'd go get breakfast. That was about the time most dudes were just showing up at the facility. So when most guys were showing up at the facility, he had already got with a trainer, he'd already got stretched, he'd already got in the cold tub, he'd already got a workout in. At breakfast, and he always had the same breakfast. After breakfast, he would go in, we'd have meetings. But what he would do out at practice blew my mind. So out at practice, one, if you ever watch him and you see him walk on or walk off of a field, you'll see him kind of look over his shoulder like he's catching a ball in the end zone. That is his habit. That is his routine. Looking like that. Every time he walks on or walks off, that's his mechanism. So as you look at those mechanisms, you start to see how these habits form. He would go out and in team drills, young quarterback from a small school, you want to be seen, emulate, steal from the greatest, best, one of the best of all time is going to be Drew Brees. He would look at every drill, individual, 7-on-7, team drill, everything in practice. Who are you talking about? Welcome in, title odd. We are talking about Mr. Drew Brees, New Orleans Saints. Welcome in, Plur Car 31. I love the names, it's funny names. I mean, mine's fullback of finance. The names are funny. So we're talking about Drew Brees out at practice each and every day. So as he would do it, he was the first quarterback. I played 20 years of football. I got to play with a lot of really good quarterbacks. But he was the first one I ever saw do this. And now today you're going to see this start to develop as a habit in a process of more and more quarterbacks in this pluricatal. I hope that's right. So as he would do it, individual, team drill, anything, he would throw the ball on his first read. And then in his progression, his hands, his eyes, his feet would track to his second, his third, his fourth, and down to his check down. Every single rep. This is hundreds, thousands of reps throughout a season. Ball at his first route, second, third, fourth, check down. And you saw him, and you could see him position each and every time. Throw the ball, bam, bam, bam. Shift, shift, shift. Every time, continually practicing that. Even down to the check down. I was the fullback. I was the check down guy. I would do like a little song and dance, try to make him smile. That was my habit. That was part of my process, my routine. But after you see greatness, after you see that kind of system, you begin to take note. You begin to look at, well, why is this guy doing that? What is he doing? 20 years of football. Not one other quarterback had I ever seen do something like that. What was the reasoning? Got to pause, sigh, Lennox, go Cougs. Always get to represent. So I went up and asked him. I was that kind of dude. You know what I mean? Darren Sproles set a NFL record. I go ask him questions. Like, that's who I was. So as we looked at it, we started to say, Drew, 20 years of football, bro, I've never seen a quarterback do that, man. Why are you doing that? Cold. In his heart, he answered. Didn't even have to think about it. He said, Jed, bro, it's all about habits. I said, what? He said, well, in a game, I don't want to have to be thinking about where my next progression is. I want it to be instinctual. I want my cues, my routines to always lead towards my rewards. I said, interesting. What are you talking about? Cues, routines, rewards. Break that for me. He's a reader, man. So he read a book, was reciting a book to me. Atomic Habits. There's a lot of books about routines and habits nowadays. But what he said was a habit is made up of 3 parts. It's made up of a cue, a routine, and a reward. Your cue is the ignition. Your cue tells you to go do something. The routine is what you actually do, and the reward is why. And he reverse engineered it. He said, listen, on 3rd and 7, I want a first down. That's my reward. So when we're running, I'm not going to remember plays off the top of my head, but when we're running, man, I wish I could. I'll go special. Easiest play call in the world. When we're running I'll go special, I want to know what coverage it is. What is my breakdown? How am I going to beat that by my progression? Bam, 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 bam. I don't want to have to think about it. Once my body is able to function without me thinking, I can be present. I can be present and I can begin to beat. I can begin to beat that defense because my body is functioning without me thinking. That is the epitome of a habit. What are you doing systematically without even thinking about it? Let's answer a question. Plukart. Oh, you said it earlier. I knew Chase Daniel, and he also told us something like that. Awesome stories. Chase is a good dude. I just talked to Chase yesterday. I needed his new address in Detroit for his Christmas card. Good guy. And, man, you want to talk about a veteran. Guy who went from undrafted to a 15-year career. Do running backs or fullbacks know what routes the receivers are running? Yes, we have to. That's why running backs and fullbacks are arguably the best positions out on the field. Now, that's not true. But I would put running backs and tight ends in the same category because we do have to know everything. You are in protections. You are in routes. And believe it or not, I, as a fullback, would fly, get out of here, go out to, outside receiver, and I would be in a receiving route. So I would need to know the route tree. Did I ever get the ball out there? Absolutely not. But somebody had to guard me, and that was my responsibility, was to take one out of the box. What careers do most ex-players go into? Do businesses reach out to join their business? I would say, you ever cracked a defensive end? If so, my hatred is real. Yo, cracks are real. I didn't get to crack. People knew when I was coming to hit them. So, no, I didn't get to sneak up on anybody and crack them. Growing up, I was a Niners fan, coach. But what careers do most ex-NFL players get into? Honestly, you see some of them, everybody's like, oh, broadcasting. Like 2% get into broadcasting because you got to be a quarterback, got to have a name to get into that. A lot get into coaching because we love the game. Sales, highly competitive. You're able to do it. You're able to communicate what that is. A lot of people like getting into sales, but that's obviously one of the big issues with ex-football players is people get lost. Real estate. That's an interesting one. More and more, I call them the modern day athlete, as we've seen over the last 5 to 10 years. We've talked a little bit about it. I don't know if any of you saw, but Travis Kelce, tight end for the Chiefs, is going to make a bundle of money off the field. He bought into Cholula hot sauce. It's good hot sauce. I just can't pronounce it. I'm more of a Tapatio, more of a Crystal hot sauce kind of guy. But he bought into that. They just got sold for $800 million. He's going to make a ton of money. That is the epitome of the modern day athlete. Why athletes are getting into real estate today is because they start to see how to make money work for them. What does check to the one technique mean? What does check to the one technique mean? I would assume what you're talking about is a one technique on defensive line. So he is on the center. He's a one technique between the center and the guard, and you're trying to run a play towards the one technique as opposed to a 3 technique. But I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on the question. Is your business growing and meeting your expectations? Sir Walter. Excellent question, Sir Walter. Absolutely. So our business has one, I have a couple students on here, a couple ambassadors and people working in the company. But our business is starting to get national contracts. We're starting to get contracts with college and high school campuses. Financial literacy, really, there's not really an online on-demand course out there. That's what we created. That's what Your Money Vehicle is all about. Thoughts on Carson Wentz? Apparently money doesn't talk. Homeboy's going to see the sidelines this weekend. Performance. What have you done for me lately? I appreciate what you did. We paid you for what you did. But going forward, you got to prove it each and every day of the week. Most important offensive position after quarterback. Good question. I mean, if you're going to go by like my personal opinion, I would say on a football field, left tackle, because he's protecting the most important guy. So who's second most important? Is the guy protecting that dude? And according to price point, it's usually the left tackle. Dak over Wentz is final. Dak, a hurt Dak is still getting more love. How bad does it hurt to get tackled? Seems like wide receivers sell out on passes when they dive, and it hurts. Selling out hurts, running, hitting the ground. Worst concussions I got was from the ground. But how bad does it hurt to get tackled? It's painful, man. It's going through a mini car accident. Helmets and shoulder pads and things like that today obviously protect you enough to where guys can get 20 or 30 of them a game and still get back up. But I'd say center because he calls protections. Depending on the system, some centers do call the protections. A lot of places the quarterback would dictate the protections, but you're right. On the line, the center is the one communicating. Though if you're going by responsibility, the two guards help the center a lot. So that's why guards get paid more than center, is because they're able to help out a third a position there. So, it's every position has its pros and cons. So what I want the financial concept to be today, and then we'll take more questions and we'll get into it. This idea of cue, routine, reward. You look at brushing your teeth. It's nighttime. Cue, I got to brush my teeth. My routine is going to brush your teeth. Your reward is that tingly sensation and not getting cavities and all that fun stuff. Interesting fact. That reward, the tingling sensation in your mouth, has nothing to do with how clean your teeth actually are. It is a great insight to how you can create a new habit. The toothpaste company wanted to sell more toothpaste, so they put that tingling reward in there. So they wanted to create your habit by influencing your reward. So that has nothing to do with how clean your teeth is. It is a sensation that is rewarding to create your routine and to give you that cue. You can use that same psychology. You look at what you want to begin to do. What is a habit you want to create? Find the reward, and it has to be a daily tangible reward. Then you build the routine, and then you identify the cues. If you want to change a bad habit, identify the cue. What is the ignition? What is that thing that is setting you off on the wrong path? You can then change the routine later, but the first step is identifying the cue. So this is going to be one of the questions today. How do you create a new habit? Focus on the reward. Focus on the reward. That psychology is in my app I'm building. Mike Merck, I love it. Love it. I got to run, but love the live. Always love hearing stories about a high school fullback, now accountant. Respect. I was actually a high school linebacker. I'd say center. All right. What place did you enjoy the most playing fullback? Pullman, babe. Washington State. New Orleans was obviously an incredible place. So as we look at routines, habits, a lot of questions everybody asks me is like, what does a Wednesday look like in the NFL? So I wanted to walk through a routine, how we became habitual around our Wednesdays. So for me, Wednesday started 5:10 a.m. in the hot tub. Go in. That was my reward for getting up early. Think about that. What was my reward? Why did I get up at 5 o'clock every morning? Because I knew I was going to get to go sit in the hot tub for a few minutes. I went in the hot tub, then I would go get my workout in. We called ourselves the Breakfast Club, the ones who were willing to get in before breakfast and get that work. A lot of guys put it off later in the day. They didn't take lifting during the season as seriously. The true veterans, the true pros, when I was traveling to 12 different teams, the guys who were in at 5 a.m. were typically the Pro Bowl type players. Are you a part of Keith Smith's Make Fullbacks Great Again movement? I don't know about Keith Smith's Make Fullback Great Again, but I'd love to join it. So 5:30, I'd go get a lift for about an hour and a half. 6:30, we go get shower. I'd typically go get about 20 or 30 minutes of treatment. About 6:30, 7 o'clock, all messed up. 5:30 to 7, go work out. 7 o'clock, go get a little bit of treatment. 7:30, go eat breakfast. 8 o'clock, we had team meeting. At 8 o'clock, we'd only have about 10, 15-minute team meeting. Then we go into special teams at about 8:15. 8:15 to 9 was special teams. 9 o'clock, we'd start to look at offense, defense. 9:30, we'd break into position groups. 11 o'clock, we were typically out on the field for a walkthrough. I have this same mindset, but my coaches just don't believe in me. Nobody's going to believe in you. Keep believing in yourself. Your thoughts become your future and your things. Prove it to them every day. That's all you can do is continue to prove it to them. So 11 o'clock walkthrough. Noon, we'd have a little lunch. That's when a lot of guys would go get a lift in. 1 o'clock, we'd actually have practice. 2.5 hour practice. Then you go get a quick little treatment. And you'd have at about 4 o'clock your position meetings to watch practice film. About 5:30, depending on how long it took to get through film, you'd actually be out of the building. On the way out, you'd grab another game or two of film to watch. So as you look at that, that's a 5 to 5 day. It's a full, obviously you got breakfast and lunch in there. But that's why we have a mastery. That's why we have a doctorate in football, is you spend all day in it and you learn to love it. So looking at the rewards of the day, and then we'll take some more questions and get out of here. First question was, who was the quote by? Watch your thoughts because they become your words become your actions are habits, your habits, your destiny. So who was that by? And then how do you start a new habit? How do you start a new habit? Who was the quote by? How do you start a new habit? Start, bench, cut, Dak, Stafford, Murray. Margaret Thatcher. There you go, Derek Peasy. Bam. Focus on the reward. John Kim, you're my dude. Where you at, Derek Peasy? John, we got you a signed card and book coming, brother. Focus on the reward. Respect, Derek Peasy. You're gonna get the win of the day. John Kim, you still there? I got you. Every day of December, tomorrow, come back tomorrow. I will challenge you to say this. One of, if not the most important lesson in the Money Vehicle program, that course that we built a business on, the course that is in college campuses, the course that could be in high schools, is going to be the Money Bucket System. That is what we're going to review and go through tomorrow. The 5 choices you and Jeff Bezos have with every dollar you make. It's going to be an important one. Chase Brumfield, welcome in at the end. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel, 7 Eastern. We're going to go through the Money Bucket System. Coach, that quote is from Mark Sanchez. No, it ain't. Though I didn't even know this. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Derek. Derek Peasy. Got to get that right. Derek Peasy. So I was watching The Masked Singer, and my man Sanchez had to call him. I was like, wait a minute, bro. What you doing singing now? But he is, and he's doing a good job. Appreciate y'all. Understand the lesson today. Cue, routine, reward. Control your thoughts because they become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits dictate your destiny. Thoughts become things. Write down your goals, write down messages to yourself, write down where you want to be. Tony, we're going to go 7 Eastern tomorrow. 7 Eastern tomorrow. Our pro to veteran lesson today, we took it from Drew. That's the rookie to veteran lesson today, is around habits, around dictating and creating. How do you repeatedly find success? Build your habits. Enjoy. See y'all tomorrow. Appreciate you.